Hi, my name is Devin Compton, and this is my speech on Meals on Wheels. In the world, the total amount of seniors served by Meals on Wheels programs in 2016 was 2.4 million, which had been served over 2.19 million meals. There must be some action we can take to help elderly in need with Meals on Wheels, either by volunteering or donating, which can help keep the elderly fed and nutritious. According to Winterton, Warburton, and Oppenheimer, the future for Meals on Wheels is not so sure. The global phenomenon of population aging is impacting on how community care is delivered, and key components of health and social care service for the frail elderly is mainly based on Meals on Wheels. The more elderly exist, the more food and more workers are required to feed them through food services. To be able to keep the elderly healthy, Meals on Wheels is almost required. According to O'Dyer and Timonen, people believe that Meals on Wheels is doomed to extinction. There is only 7% of the population of elderly that receives a food delivery service. There are 93% of elderly that could be in homes or that are not receiving what their bodies need. According to Winterton, volunteers were found to be a critical component of MOW service delivery, which is Meals on Wheels, yet their contribution is poorly understood. Volunteers are the main point of the Meals on Wheels program. They are what contribute to the whole Meals on Wheels because they are what makes the food and brings the food to the elderly. Without them, nothing could be done. According to O'Dyer, volunteers who constitute nearly 90% of the workers involved in the service. Volunteers contribute their lives to helping the elderly. This is why they use their own vehicles to go to the elderly to feed them. Without volunteers, there would be no Meals on Wheels programs or any other vehicle services. Volunteers on Meals on Wheels services, it gives them purpose, it helps raise money, and it keeps the elderly at their own homes and outside of homing facilities. Now that we know why it is important, I'm going to explain how we can help the elderly and save Meals on Wheels. According to Oppenheimer, Warburton, and Carey, the organization concentrated on attracting young people as volunteers through delivery via bicycle and utilizing only organic food. This means that Meals on Wheels is working on new methods to improve themselves and keep their service running for years to come. Food, the types of food, organic food, helps keep the elderly bodies working and keep them full of nutrition. And the transportation being economically friendly is what keeps it running as well. And according to Oppenheimer, comparing a mix of government funding and other sources, including client payments, the Commonwealth government provides modest subsidy, which covers only about 20% of the cost of Meals on Wheels. This means that the government pays for Meals on Wheels, and since it is not working so well, they may remove Meals on Wheels without the proper motivation. This means that we need a call to action, which is the purpose, nursing volunteers, and which can help feed the elderly using Meals on Wheels. According to Winterton, a reliance on volunteers and increasing social isolation among aging populations is what keeps Meals on Wheels going. Volunteers are what the main lifeblood of Meals on Wheels is. Without volunteers, it would not run. They are the only people that run Meals on Wheels. There's no one to help them. So they use the government's money to keep it running. And they can also take donations if need be. And Meals on Wheels is when an elderly stays home instead of having to go to a homing facility to be fed. And volunteers help the elderly stay in their homes. According to O'Dyer, the main motivation of volunteers was the perception that they were needed and were of use to vulnerable members of their community, which means that they wanted to help others because they were helping themselves feel good and because those other people were in need. The volunteers can grow to become helpful for other parts of life, which means that just because they help the elderly in the community, they can help in other parts of the community, such as other volunteer work. They can help build houses, clean up trash, recycle. Finally, we must try to visualize a world where the elderly are sparse and dying because they can't get the nutrients they need from being stuck in facilities from the lack of Meals on Wheels and meal services. According to Wong and Mayer, the efficiency of service delivery program include the route design for each employee, the allocation of clients to individual employees, the number of employees, and their associated vehicles for the entire service delivery program, and the location of the central facility. This means that the efficiency of how volunteers deliver food is the main point of Meals on Wheels. They need to know how to deliver the food in the fastest way possible. This means that they need a good location for Meals on Wheels to be able to go to all the places they need as fast as possible. Lastly, Meals on Wheels keeps America's senior population in their homes and fed from the care that volunteers bring. Action must be taken to volunteer ourselves to help or donate to the organization to be able to help any elderly in need. We must join together to bring all of the earth together, even our eldest, the most respected and loved of all, and keep them in our lives for as long as possible.